Hello and welcome to my Ford 3600 tractor restoration project. This project started as I was looking at Facebook Marketplace for another project to keep me busy in the afternoons after work. I was looking for a Ford 3000 tractor to restore, and I found this 3600 on Marketplace, and it was priced a little too high for the condition it was in, and so I kept looking, and you know how it is. You look for a project like that and all the good deals get gone pretty quick. Well, a couple weeks went by and the price dropped and a couple $100, and I decided I'd check into it. So anyway, I live in northeast Georgia and the tractor was in South Georgia, around 200 miles away. So all I had to go on was the pictures that was in the ad, and they wasn't very good. And the guy told me, he said that all it needed was an injector pump. Well, I knew that it needed more than an injector pump, but I figured that if I could fix the injector pump and get it running, well, I might be able to sell it and turn a buck or two on it, and that's what I was hoping for. Anyway, when I arrived in South Georgia, I was looking and I seen the tractor at a distance, and I said, man, I hope that ain't the one I'm coming after. And the closer I got to it, I said, yeah, I guess that's it. So I got there and he loaded it up real quickly. I paid him and off I went. So anyway, I get back home with the tractor and I start evaluating and all, and look to see what I bought. And as you see in the videos, the sheet metal wasn't in good condition. You know, it was rusty. It had been sitting in the field for at least a year. Fenders were rusty and bent and, you know, pretty bad. One of the headlights were missing on it, and the cowl was bent up and I thought beyond repair, and no grill. And started looking at some of the positive things. You know, you got to do that too to keep you motivated. So, you know, I saw the rear tires were in good condition, and it was mostly a complete tractor. You know, it wasn't sheet metal components missing on it that much. And it had spin out wheels, and it had power steering. It had remote hydraulics, and it was a diesel, and it was a Ford, and you can always get parts for a Ford tractor. So anyway, I was hoping I could rebuild the injector pump and get it running so I could further evaluate it. So that was the first thing I did. I overhauled the injection pump and reinstalled it on the tractor, and I cleaned out the fuel tank and put new fuel filters on it, and I tried to start it up and it wouldn't fire. Then I tried to start it with ether and it still wouldn't fire, and I knew then I had some major problems. So I knew I either had burnt valves or bad rings or both. So I pulled the tractor into the shop and took the head off of it. And when I got the head off of it, the first thing I did see, I did have some burnt valves there. So I thought, well, maybe I need to look inside the cylinder walls. When I did, I seen some major problems. The cylinder walls were scored so bad that I knew I'd have to have them replaced. So, well, I looked at the engine, tore it down, and as you can see in the pictures, rings were broken on the pistons, and I knew there's no way that the engine, of course, would ever run with the pistons and the rings the way they were. And then I looked a little further, tore it down a little further, and I found that the crankshaft had some metal that went through it at some time or another, and the crankshaft would have to be turned too. And I guess the only saving grace I found on it was it looked like someone had just put in a new clutch in the tractor, so I knew that would save me some money. Well, I took the engine to the machine shop in Gainesville, Georgia, to Brad's machine shop, and he tanked the parts for me and bored out the old sleeves, and he made made new ones and pressed them back in to the standard tolerance. And he turned the crankshaft, he rebuilt the head, he put all the brand new valves in it, new valve springs. He decked the head and decked the block to match. And then as we got looking into it, when he got ready to put the cam the cam bearings in it. We seen that it needed a new camshaft, so he said, we need to put new camshaft and lifters in it. So we put new camshaft and lifters in it, and the machine shop bill, he done a great job, and it was $1,860.63, but the engine's completely new now, so I guess money well spent. So when I got the news that I was going to have to put a new tractor and a new engine in the tractor, I decided to go all in on the project and do a complete restore on the tractor. So I started taking off the sheet metal and getting it ready for sandblasting, priming, and painting. And while I was waiting on the machine shop, of course, to finish up and for my parts to arrive, I went down to the PPG paint store and I bought 2K urethane primer, and I used the PPG acrylic enamel paint on it. And I found out from previous projects before that, you put too much time working and prepping for paint to, cheap out and get cheap Tractor Supply paint on a project. The PPG paint will be there for a long, long time, and it's well worth the extra money spent. Well, the next frame, you'll see the front end of the tractor, and it was no better than the rest of the tractor. I had to rebush the front end, put new bearings and new seals in the wheels, and had to buy 2 new spindles. They were just wore beyond repair. Had to put new tie rods in, and it's just like everything else on this tractor. It was a complete overhaul. Got the engine parts back, and got the machine shop, everything from the machine shop and all, and assembled the engine and got it back on the tractor. Took the wheels off, I sandblasted them, primed them, painted them. It's what a pain it was to tape off the tires where you don't get paint on them. And it's worth it in the end, though. You see so many people, they do these restoration projects, and they don't take the time to tape off the tires, and they get paint all over, and it just don't look too good. Done the body work on the sheet metal parts, primed and painted them, and I was able to straighten out the cowl and had to use it, much to my surprise, and had to order new fenders. They were rusted beyond repair, and one of them was, so I just bought a pair of them and got them to match, and got a new grill and a new headlight, and so the front end looks great now. The engine, when I got ready to start it up, it started right up, ran great. What a feeling to hear this old tractor run for the first time. Of course, after cranking and running the tractor, for a while I found several more items that needed my attention. It seemed like the repairs on this tractor would never end. I found the steering column was leaking fluid, tore it down and replaced the seals on it. The power steering cylinder, one of them was leaking. I had to replace it. The 3-point hitch on the lift, it wouldn't stay up, so I had to go into the top lid and repair the hydraulic piston on the PTO lift. And the PTO shaft was leaking also, so I had to reseal the PTO shaft. And the bushings on the brake and the clutch pedal were worn and too loose and too sloppy, so I rebushed the pedals to get rid of the play there. Bought new decals and put them on. It's really made her look sharp. The next step is to install the fenders, as you can see in the picture, and wire up the lights. And at this time, I'm waiting on the steering column, the sheet metal for the steering column. It covers the steering column. I got it on order, and I got a PTO shield for the PTO shaft, and going to paint it and put it on the tractor. And the tractor's as close to new as I can get it. I love to hear the old crackle of the Ford diesel engine as it runs. It was a lot of work and a lot of money to get her where she is now, but I know this tractor will give great service for many, many years to come. I just want to thank all y'all for watching this video, and God bless you. Thank you.